Hari Om. Hari Om. Namaste or Sitaram. I now welcome our Phoenix Park youth member, Anaya Gokul, a student, Form 1 student of Saraswati Girls Hindu College, to bring you welcome remarks.
Sitaram, on behalf of our Panditji Gyan Gusain and the members of Phoenix Park Hindu Mandir, it is my pleasure to extend a special welcome to Swami Prakashananda ji and Brahmachari of the Chinmaya Mission Ashram to our beautiful temple tonight. I would like to acknowledge the dedication and hard work of Swami Prakashananda ji, who embarks on satsangs and yajnas, and in recognition for the selfless community service rendered by him. I hope tonight's message inspired you all with Swamiji's profound teachings, recognizing not only intellectually, but psychologically and physically through his laughter. I'd like to take this time to thank each and every one of you here tonight. Remember, we don't laugh because we're happy. We're happy because we laugh. Jai Sitaram.
बोलिए सियापति रामचंद्र की जय। तब सुनि मोहि भयहु संदेहु जासु सुभाव अरि अनुकूला सोखिमि करहि मातु प्रतिकूला जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम प्रिय हासरस परिहरहि मागु विचारि विवेकु जहि देखाव नयन भरि भरत राज अभिषेक सियापति रामचंद्र जी के जय शरणम जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम जिय मीन बरुगारे बिहीना मनि बिनु फनिक जी दुख दीना कहूँ सुभाहु न धनु मन माहू जीवनु मोर राम बिनु नाहि जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम समुझि देखूं जिया प्रिया प्रवीणा जीवनु राम रस अधीना सुनि मृदु बचन कुमतियते जरई मनहु अनल आहुति घृत परई जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम कहय करहु किन कोटि उपाया इहाँ न जागिहि रोरी माया राम साधु तुम साधु सयाने राम मातु भली सब पहचाने जस कौशिला मोर बलता का दस भलु न हरि देहु करि साखा जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम होत प्रातु मुनि बेश धरि जौन राम बन जाहि मोर मरनु राउर जस नृप समुझिए मन माहि सियापति रामचंद्र जी की जय शरणम जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम अस कही कुटिल भई उठी ठारी मनहु रोष तरंगे बारे पाप पहार प्रगट भई सोए भरी क्रोध जल जाए न जोए दो बर कूल कटे नहत धारा सब रघुबरी वचन प्रचारा भारत भूप रूप तरु मूला चल विपत्ति बारिधि अनुकूला लखी नरेश परस घुर साक्षी तियम सस्धी पुजीश पर नाछे गही पर विनय कीन्ह बैठारे जनि दिन कर कुल से कुठारे मागु मात बही देव तोहि राम बिराह जनि मारसि मोहि राखु राम कहु जेहि तेहि बाती नहीं ताजरी जन्म भचाते जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम देखी व्याधि साधन पर उधरनी धुनि माथ कहत परम आरत वचन राम राम रघुनाथ जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम व्याकुल राव शिथिल सब गाथा करने कल्प तरु मन मुनि पाता कंठ मुख मुख आवन बानी जनु पाठीनु दीन बिनु पानी जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम पुनि कह कटु कठोर कई मनहु घाय महु माहुर देहि जो अंतहु अस करत भूरह्यो मागु मागु तुम के न्यल कहेऊ जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम दुई की होई एक समय भुलाया हसबट ठाव भुला बगाला दान कहा बरु कृपनाई होय कि खेम कुशल राताई छारहु बचनहु कीन धरु धरहु जनि अबला जिमि करुणा करहु तनु तिय तनय धामु धनु धरनी सत्य संध कहु नृप सम बरनी जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम परम वचन सुनि राउर कह, कहूँ कछु दोष न तोर, लागे उतोहि पिशाच जिमि। कालु कहावत मोर, सियापति रामचंद्र जी की जय शरणम। जय राम श्री राम, जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम। जय राम श्री राम, जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम। चाहत न भरत भूपत ही भोरे, विधि बस कुमति बसी जिय तोरे। सो सब मोर पाप परिणामु, भयउ कुठार जय विधि बामु। सुबस सही फिरे अवर सुहाई, सब गुण धाम राम प्रभुताई। करी हहि भाई सकल सेवकाई, होई तेहु पुर राम बराई। जय राम श्री राम, जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम। जय राम श्री राम, जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम। तोर कलंक मोर पछिताऊं, मुहेहु न मिटे जाहि काऊ। अब तोहि नीक लाग करु सोई, लोचन ओट बैठु मुँह गाई। जब लगी जिए कहूँ कर जोरी, तब लगी जनि कछु कसी बहोरी। फिर पछुतो हसी अंत अभागी, मारस गाय नहारू लागी। जय राम श्री राम, जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम। जय राम श्री राम, जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम। पर उराहु कही कोटि विधि, काहे करसी निधानु। कपट सयानि न कहे तकछु, जागति मन हूँ मसानु। सियापति रामचंद्र जी की जय शरणम। जय राम श्री राम, जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम। जय राम श्री राम, जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम। राम राम रत विकल भुलालु, जनु बिनु पंक विहंग निरालु। हृदय मनाव भौर जनु होई, राम ही जाई कहे जनि कोई। पुरट करहु जनि रवि रघुकुल गुर, अवर विलोकि सूल होई उर। भूप प्रीति कह कही कठिनाई, उभय वरि विधुर छी बनाई। जय राम श्री राम, जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम। जय राम श्री राम, जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम। विलपत नृपहि भय मंगल सकल सोहाई न कैसे सहगामी विभूषण जैसे तेहि निसि नीर परे नहीं काहू राम रस लाल साहु छाहू जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम द्वार भोर सेवक सचिव कहीं उतर भी देखे जागे जहुन अवरपति कारण कवनु विशेष सियापति रामचंद्र जी की जय शरणम जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम पछले पहर भूप नित जागा आजहु हम पर अचर जुलागा जाहु सुमंत्र जगावहु जाई की जहि आज चाव सुपाई गए सुमंत्र तब राउर माही देखी भयावन जाट डेराही धाई राख जनु जाय नहेरा मानहु विपति विशाल बसेरा जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ऊँचे को न उठर दे गए जय भवन घुप के कहिए कहीं जय जीव बैत सिरनाही देखी भूप गति गय सुखाई सोच विकल विवरण मही भरऊ मानहु कमल मूल परिहरेऊ सचिव समाई तस कई नहीं पूछिए शुभ भरहि शुभ छूछी जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम परिनराजहि नीर निशि हे तु जान जगदीशु राम राम रति भोर किया कहे न मरमु मरेशु सियापति रामचंद्र जी की जय शरणम जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम आनहु राम ही बेगी बोलाई समाचार तब पूछे हुआई चलऊ सुमंत्र राय रुख जानी लखी कुछद सगई कचुरानी जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम सोच विकल मग करई न पाऊ राम ही बोल कही ताराऊ उरधरि धीरज गयऊ द्वारे पूछहि सकल दे मनु मारे श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम समाधान करि सो सभी का गयऊ जहाँ दिन कर कुलती का राम सुमंत्र ही आवत देखा आडर कीन पिता सब लेखा निरखी बदन कहू पर जाए रघुकुल पर ही चले भाई राम कुभाति सचिव सागराई देखी लोग जहाँ तहाँ बिलुखाए जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम जाय देख रघुवंशी मणि नरपति निपति कुसाजो सहमि पर उलखे सिद्धि निधि मनहु बुध गज जाहु सियापति रामचंद्र जी की जय शरणम जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम सुकहि अधर जरई सबु अंगू मनहु दीन मनिहीन भूमंगू सरसु समीप देखि गए मानहु में चुघरी गनिले करुणामय मृदु राम सुभाऊ प्रथम दिख दुख सुनान काहू तरफ धीर धर समऊ विचारी पूछि मधुर वचन महतारी मोहि कहु मातु तात दुख कारण करई जतन जहि होई निवारण सुनहु राम सबु कारण हूँ राजहि तुम पर बहुत स्नेह देन कहे नहीं मोहि दुल बरदना मागहु जो कछु मोहि सुहाना सो सुनि भयउ भूप उर सोचू चारि न सकहि तुम्हारी सकोचू जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम सुत सने हुइत वचनुइत संकट पर नरेशु सकहुत आयसु डरहु सिर मेटहु कठिन कलेशु सियापति रामचंद्र जी की जय शरणम
राम कथा के ते अधिकारी
श्री राम जय जय रामा
जिनके सत्संगति अति प्यारी
श्री राम जय
राम कथा के तेई अधिकारी।
श्री राम जय जय रामा।
जिनके सत्संगति अति प्यारी।
श्री राम जय रामा।
बिनु सत्संग विवेक न होई।
श्री राम जय रामा।
राम कृपा बिनु सुलभ न सोई।
श्री राम जय रामा।
बिनु सत्संग विवेक न होई।
श्री राम जय रामा।
राम कृपा बिनु सुलभ न सोई।
श्री राम जय रामा।
राम चरण वारिज जब देखो।
श्री राम जय रामा।
तब निज जन्म सफल करी लेखो।
श्री राम जय रामा।
राम चरण वारिज जब देखो।
श्री राम जय रामा।
तब निज जन्म सफल करि लेखो।
श्री राम जय रामा।
सीताराम चरण रति मोरे।
श्री राम जय रामा।
अनुदिन बरऊ अनुग्रह तोरे।
श्री राम जय रामा।
सीताराम चरण रति मोरे।
श्री राम जय रामा।
अनुदिन बरऊ अनुग्रह तोरे।
श्री राम जय रामा।
कोमल चित अति दीन दयाला।
श्री राम जय रामा।
कारण बिनु रघुनाथ कृपाला।
श्री राम जय रामा।
कोमल चित अति दीन दयाला।
श्री राम जय रामा।
कारण बिनु रघुनाथ कृपाला।
श्री राम जय रामा।
कारण बिनु रघुनाथ कृपाला।
श्री राम जय रामा।
कारण बिनु रघुनाथ कृपाला।
श्री राम जय रामा।
श्यावर रामचंद्र की जय। गजाननं भूतगणातिसेवितं कपितजम्बो फलसारभक्षणम् उमासुतं शोकविनाशकारणम् नमामि विघ्नेश पादपङ्कजम् या कुन्देन्दुतुषारहारधवला या शुभ्र वस्त्रावृता या वीणा वरदंड मंडित करा या श्वेत पद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युत शंकर प्रभृतिभिः देवैः सदा वन्दिता सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती निःशेष जाड्यापहा गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः लोकाभिरामं रणरङ्गधीरं राजीवनेत्रं रघुवंशनाथं कारुण्यरूपं करुणाकरं तं श्रीरामचन्द्रं शरणं प्रपद्ये मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयूथमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शरणं प्रपद्ये बोलो राम 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 सीता राम राम राम
बोलो राम 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 सीता राम राम राम
राजा राम 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 सीता राम राम राम
राजा राम 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 सीता राम राम राम
मंगल भवन मंगलहारी द्रवहु दशरथ अजिर बिहारी
श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम
रघुकुल रीति सदा चली आई प्राण जाए वरु वचन न जाए
श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम
अवध तहाँ जहाँ राम निवासु दिवस तहाई जहाँ भानु प्रकाशु
श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम
नहीं कलिकर मन बगथि विवेकु राम नाम अवलंबन एकु
श्री राम जय राम
मस्ती अतारी नाम को विठल कुमति सुधारी
श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम
बोलो राम 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 सीता राम राम राम
बोलो राम 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 सीता राम राम राम
राजा राम 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 सीता राम राम राम
राजा राम 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 सीता राम राम राम
हरे राम 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 सीता राम राम राम
हरे राम 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 सीता राम राम राम
श्यावर रामचंद्र की जय Welcome to all of you to this satsang tonight. If you are joining us tonight for the first time, we are seeing now the Ayodhya Kaanda. And today we have to start from Doha number 31. Where is the story so far? Kaikeyi has requested 2 boons from Dasharatha Maharaj. And the story is one thing. You all know the story. She asked for one boon, that Bharat be king instead of Rama. And the second boon, that Rama goes to the forest in the Vesha or the garb of a tapasvi for 14 years. These are the boons. But it is much, much, much more than just a skeletal story. We saw so many wonderful guidance for our life in this story. It is like a coconut. There is this shell on the outside, there's a husk on the outside, smooth one, then fibrous one, then this copra, it's hard on the, but inside there's an edible, palatable, nutritious kernel. Well, the same thing is happening here in all of these stories and all. And the kernel for all of us in the story, that which is nutritious and which really can feed our soul, as it were, which word I don't like, but feed our spiritual journey, is, first and foremost, we saw yesterday, simple at a simple level, kusanga. Kaikeyi was too close to mantra. And so we should always substitute satsang for kusang. This is a very, very important thing. Make sure that we find ourselves in the right place, right company, with the right thoughts, right activities. Yukta hara viharasya. Bhagavan talks not about food only in Gita, but vihar or recreation. We find ourselves doing the right things rather than go there and take advantage of a little 2-winged creature on the beach with pot. Find yourself doing something. Vihar or recreation. What we choose as recreation. All these things add up. All these things contribute to our spiritual journey. So satsang in place of kusang, and we saw in Kaikeyi's story, getting too close to this mantra, who is introduced in not so good terms in this Ramayana. So satsang. Then, what is happening at this point now is a strong desire. Bhagavan talks about this desire. Manthara infused in her mind this strong desire to have these 2 boons fulfilled. Then there was the use of the right path for Manthara to get to her head, to get to the head of Kaikeyi. And in that there is jealousy, and there is revenge, and there are so many things which all are result from kusanga. And so we have to make sure that none of these things infest our mind. Otherwise our journey, I told her, in this world, And there will be good and evil. That is the way the world is made up. That is the structure of the universe. The universe is made up of positive and negative in every atom. So there is good and evil. You cannot remove it. What we can do is, you see, when you're coming, just now we're coming on this BC road here. But there are potholes everywhere. You can't remove the potholes. Even if you try, Vasa will make it back. You can't remove the pothole, but you could stare around the pothole. Correct or not? Yeah. Or you could choose which one you want to go down in safely. But anyway, there's something you can do, something you can't do. Like you can't remove it. So, the good and evil will be there in the world. You cannot remove good and evil. That is, you met it like that. But you could stay clear of evil. Don't be the medium through which the evil gets expressed. And that is what Kaikeyi did. She became the medium through which the evil plan of Manthara got expressed. If we allow ourselves to be that medium through the channel through which evil gets expressed, then what happens is two things. We get dukkha, sorrow, which no jiva likes. And second thing is, more importantly, our spiritual journey gets stultified to that extent. Because the dukkha is only the last expression of the action, the evil action. So many other things happen first. We bring untold dukkha and others also. You see? So anyway, we bring disarray to the world, and all that karma we have to still now experience and go through all of those karmas. And then when we go through, one bad thing leads to another. You know that. Because to cover up the first bad thing, we have to do a second bad thing. And like that, it goes on, and there is no end to that thing. There's a downward spiral. So Manthara found, Kaikeyi found herself in this, all because she was too close to that Manthara. We saw all of these words and all. Very, very close she was. Now she requested these two boons, and a strong desire was built in her mind for the fulfillment of these two boons. And in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan said, Kamat krodho vijayate. From this strong desire comes krodha, anger, strong. Research, Tulsidas describes it like a snake. All sorts of description he gives. Hissing and all of those type of things. Strong desire. When that desire is not fulfilled, it turns into anger. That's why she is angry like anything. Dasharatha Maharaj describes her as death waiting on his head. He tells her in number 31, Lobhana Rama hi Rajukara. Rama has no desire for this kingdom, I tell you. Rama is such that he is desireless. Nidhi ha is. Bahuta Bharata para priti. And he loves Bharat very much. So if Bharat gets the kingdom, now at this point, Dasharatha Maharaj is trying to negotiate a plan or negotiate some concession from her that Rama does not have to go to the forest. Let Bharat get the kingdom. Oh, no problem. It's okay, let Bharat get the kingdom. But why Rama has to go to the forest? So he's at this point of negotiating. Main Bharat chot bichari. See, Rama will not mind if Bharat gets the kingdom also. Then second point in that Doha, very strong point. Main Bharat chot bichari jia karata rehu nirpan niti. You see, just acting like any ordinary king, without thinking much, I just said, okay, let Rama be the king. Because this is how it is done in this Raghukula. In this family, the eldest son becomes king. So I did not have to think much. I just naturally said, let Rama be the king without thinking. But I tell you, Rama sapata sata kau subhau. See, until now, Kaikeyi did not express any of the plan or the words which Manthara had told her. Manthara had told her this whole thing was hatched by Kausalya. But Kaikeyi did not say that. Kaikeyi just said, I want these two boons. But Dasharatha Maharaj, he knows. He knows that that jealousy was instilled in her heart by Manthara, by somebody, he didn't know who, and the jealousy was against Kausalya. So Dasharatha Maharaj on his own now, he says, I swear 100 times on the head of Ram, Ram sapat sat kahau subhau, Rama matu kachu kaheu nakau, that I did not say any of this to the mother of Ram, Miss Kausalya, nor did she say anything to me. Means she was not involved in any of this. He suspected that Kaikeyi was angry with Kausalya. So Dasharatha Maharaj is claiming this on his own. Kausalya had nothing to do with it. In other words, the long and short of it, Kausalya had nothing to do with this. I just, by sleight of hand, said, let Rama be king. That's all. Main sabuki na to hi binu puche. And I did it all without asking you also. Teite pareu manoratha chuche. I was just trying to fulfill a wish which I have. And when she heard this, Risa pariharu ab mangal saju.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram.
Kachu din gaye Bharat jubaraju.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram.
Ek hi baat mohi dukh laga. पर दूसर असमंजस मांगा.
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम.
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम.
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम.
जय रघुराम
जय रघुराम.
जय सीताराम.
जय सीताराम.
श्यावर रामचंद्र की जय. Not an iota of anger went away, even though he said, Kausalya had nothing to do with this. Then he tells, Risi Pariharu, you drop this anger which you have, Abba Mangala Saju. You consider and you pay attention to this Mangala event which is going to, means auspicious event which is going to happen. Kachu din gaye Bharat Jubaraju. Bharat will be Jubaraj. Bharat will be crowned instead of Ram. Dasharatha Maharaj is telling, Ek hi baat mohi dukh laga. One thing makes me very, very miserable. What is that? Baradusar asamanjasa maga. The second boon which you ask for, that is incongruent with your personality and with everything with it. It's very difficult for me. I hesitate when I hear your second boon. You should drop that. Ajahu hridaya jarata tehi acha. When you ask, no, my heart is burning. Risa parihasa ki sachehu sacha. Now only after so many dohas and all, he's telling. But he couldn't believe. Now he starts thinking. When he first heard it, he became, I want these two boons. And when he heard the two boons that she wanted, that Bharat be king and that Rama goes to the forest, he became stupefied, stultified. That he couldn't think clearly. Now he starts thinking, Risa, parihas, ki sachehu, sacha. Whether this thing is out of anger, it is joke, or it is real, true. Kaha, any one of these things, Tajiro, should drop this anger. Ram, kaha Ram aparadhu. What did Ram do to you? What is Ram's fault? What crime did he commit? Sabko kahi Ram suti sadhu. Everybody said that Ram is a sadhu. You used to have, you yourself, tuhu sarahasi karasi sanehu. You yourself used to have so much love for Ram and you praised him so many times. Why you want him to go to the forest? Abasuni mohi bhayau sandehu. Now, all those times when you praised Ram and you said Ram is so sweet, Ram is this, Ram is that, all that time, now I am doubtful whether you were telling the truth or not. You were faking all that time also, it looks. Jasu subhav arihi anukula. So kimi karihi matu pratikula. Why his own mother has turned against him like this? That Rama who is loved even by an enemy. This is a very famous statement of Ramayana. Jasu subhav arihi anukula. The very, very famous line often quoted. Meaning, Rama is such that he is loved even by an enemy. Even an enemy. This we'll see when we come to Aranyakand, where Bali insults him like anything. But in the end, Bali also said, Prabhu, in the final analysis, you are Bhagwan only. Only Bhagwan can do what Bhagwan did. So Bali also, the enemy also loves Rama. And we'll see this throughout in many places of Rama. Anyway, Priyahasa Risa Pariharahi Magu Bichari Viveku. Now Dasharatha Maharaj is telling a very nice thing. See, I tell you. Priya, my dear beloved, whether you are making a joke or whatever, or whether this anger is real or whatever you are doing, Pariharahi, you drop it. Magu Bichari Viveku. Now this is how a human being is supposed to live. What? You ask for something or you pursue something or you do something after vichar and vivek. So let me tell you a little bit, but Dasharatha Maharaj is talking about Vedanta here. See, I'll explain that with examples so you will know. He's trying to put some sense into the head of Kaikeyi. When we see something that we want to eat, right? Let's say a person who has diabetes and he sees jalebi. Anybody who sees jalebi, what to talk about diabetes? Anybody? Anybody who has diabetes or any ordinary person sees jalebi. That time, the tongue starts watering, isn't it? The tongue we start salivating. If a dog sees food on the neighbor's side, the same thing, the dog will just go there and eat. The dog doesn't think that is neighbor's side and this is our side. Any dog will think. The dog doesn't follow any constitution. The neighbor has an inalienable right to the enjoyment of his property. And therefore I should not go there and eat his food. But human being has that option. What to think? So now the jalebi is there. We can think. The desire to eat the jalebi, that I call a feeling. What is it? Feeling. I feel to eat this, and I feel to do that, and I feel to go there. And that's called feeling. So the feeling belongs to the heart. My heart feels this, and my heart feels that, and my heart feels the other thing. Feeling belongs to heart. But a human being not only has a heart, he also has a head. So the head should say, you know, yesterday I eat 2 koila jalebi already. 2 coil. And another 2 when nobody was looking. The head should say that, this, I already overdo it yesterday, and today this jalebi, and this time it has presented itself. The jalebi presents itself that time only, when you already overdo it. So I eat 2 coil. Look, it's not good for me, not good for my diabetes. The head should stop the heart from saying, eat it, eat it, eat it. Correct or not? The head should stop the heart. That is called Vichar Vivek. This is what Dasharatha Maharaj is telling here. But human beings don't do this. Because I'm supposed to think. Vichar means thinking. And Vivek means discriminate. The proper and improper thing. The proper thing is not to eat it. The improper thing is to eat it. So when this is lost, the human being remains a mere animal. Because the animal cannot perform this operation. The animal sees food and he eats, but he doesn't care who food it is. So Dasharatha Maharaj is telling to Kaikeyi, Magu, you ask for a boon, vichari bibeku. You do some good thinking and discriminate between right and wrong, proper, improper, desirable, undesirable, dharma, adharma. Discriminate properly and you ask for the boon. Jai dekhao abanayana bhari bharat raj abhisheku. And he is talking not specifically about the second boon. Because Dasharatha Maharaj is already granted the first boon. Let Bharat be the king. And one more reason why he is asking for this, for Kaikeyi to really do some vichar, some vivek. That given now after 32, you see that. Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
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 Jai Meen Baru Bari Bihina.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
Mani Pinu Phani Kujiye Dukh Dina.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
Kahau Subhavna Chalo Man Mahi. Shri Ram Jaya Ram,
Jaya Jaya Rama.
Jeevan Mor Ram Binu Nahi.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram,
Jaya Jaya Rama. Syamar Ramachandra ki jai. My dear, Jai mean binu bari bihina. That how a fish cannot live without water, and a snake cannot live without that gem on its head. Some snake you must have been there in the old days. Kahu subhau nachalu mana mahi. I tell you, without feeling any thought, I tell you sincerely from my heart, Jivana more Rama binu nahi. That I will not be able to live without Rama. And actually, it is this, in this Ramcharita Manas, it is this truth about Dasharatha ji's life which makes him supersede every devotee. Devotees only talk. Devotees only talk that Bhagavan is everything to me. Bhagavan, without you I am nothing. This. But Dasharatha Maharaj not only talk the talk, but also walk the talk. That when Bhagwan departed from his life, Dasharatha ji Maharaj died. Now, if that is not walking the talk, nothing is walking the talk. That he cannot live, he doesn't, he's not, and he tells also, Kahu subhav na chalu mana mahi. I'm not feeling anything I'm telling. I'm telling, if Rama goes from my life, I will die. And this demonstration of devotion is not seen anywhere else in this Ramayana. The Dasharatha ji Maharaj really and truly cannot live without Ram. But that is a true bhakta. And actually, as Manu, he had wanted that sort of relationship with Bhagwan Ram. Samuji dekhu jiya priya prabina jivana Ram daras adhina. My life depends on seeing Ram. And if you send away Ram to this forest, I will die. And we'll see that actually happen. Sunimirudu bachana kumati ati jarai. Now hearing this, her anger became more. And Tulsidaji describes her Kumati now. Now she has become like Manthara. Because if you mix with the foxes, you become a fox, isn't it? So there, Manthara was being described like that. Now, Kaikai is being described. Kumati means evil-minded. She flared up even more when Dasharatha is saying such a sincere thing, a true thing. Manahu, anala, ahuti, krita, parai. Like when you throw ghee into the fire, she flared up like that. Kai karahu, kina koti upay, iha nalagihi, raura maya. She told, you could make up 100, make up, He's not making up, he's telling exactly what. You could make up 100 things and tell. None of it is having any effect on me. She tells. Dehu ki lehu ajasa kari nahi. Mohi na bahuta prapancha sohahi. I don't like all make-up things. You give me the boon, or you're not giving me the boon and getting infamy. Bad name. This is her word. These are her words. Ram sadhu tuma sadhu sayane. Ram matu bhali sab pehchane. Ram is a sadhu, and you are wise sadhu also. And Ram matu bhali sab pehchane. And Rama's mother, let me tell you in Trinidad language. I don't figure out three all you are ready. This is Trini language. I don't know how to express that in English. I've already figured out all three of you. This is the expression. Now see, I told you that what Manthara had used? Manthara had used this technique of infusing jealousy between the wives. And that is the most appropriate place to strike. The first thing. Second thing, that not only is Manthara, not only had Manthara told about this plan, this evil, insidious plan that was hatched by Kausalya, Manthara also hinted at revenge on Kausalya, because somebody has done something to me. Well, I have to get them back. So that is still there now. Jasa Kausalya more bhalataka. As Kausalya has done to me. Tasa phalu unhahi devu kari saka. Don't worry, just now she will get it back. That's Trini language. In other words, not only that there is a hatred developed for Kausalya, but also revenge, in the mind. She tells also, to make her desire now. So even though Dasharatha Maharaj was trying to negotiate a kind of midpoint, or what we call some concession, it will not happen, she tells. होत प्रात मुनि बेस धरी जौन राम बन जाहि राम जौन राम बन जाहि मोर मरनु राउर अजस कृप समुझियन मनाहि सिया
हर रामचंद्र जी जय शरणम पावन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय सियावर रामचंद्र की
जय शरणम होत प्रात मुनि बेस धरी जौन राम बन जाहि. If in the morning Rama does not put on the clothes of an ascetic and go to the forest, more maran, you will find me dead. How strong, eh? You will find me dead, and Ra-ur ajasa, and the bad name, infamy of the whole world will come down on your head. Nripa samujhiya mana mahi. You understand this very clearly in your mind. O king, she doesn't say O pati. She doesn't say O husband. O king, Nripa, asakahi kutila bhai uthi thari. Saying this, she rose up. She rose up. Manahu rosha tarangini badhi. She welled up like the ocean having a tsunami. That's the idea. Tulsidas goes on to describe all the, I told you, he has many metaphors and all, you can go and see. Now, Dasharatha Maharaj seeing this, what to do now? Last thing left. Last thing left for Dasharatha Maharaj. What is that? Lakhi Nares Bhat Puri Sachi, realizing that she is not going to change her mind by what I have been telling and all that. She really means this thing. Tia misam mi chu si sapara nachi. And realizing that death has come upon his head in the form of this wife. How strong words, huh? Gahi pada binaya ki nibai thari. He fell at her feet. Now last thing, Dasharatha hold on, she feet now. This is the same king who gone to help Indra fight, who went to Swarga to have Tulsidas described. Now he fell at her feet. Jani din kara kula hosi kuthari. Don't be an axe to fell the or a destroyer of this family, this Dinakula. He tells her, Magumat abahi devu tohi. Ask for my head, right now I'll give my head. Ram biraha janimarasi mohi. But don't separate me from Ram and kill me. You ask for my head, I'll give you my head. But don't let me die by separation from Ram. Rakhu Ram kahu jehi tohi bhanti. Nahita jarihi janama bhari chati. Keep Rama, otherwise for the rest of it now, actually from that line, for a few lines well, Dasharatha Maharaj, he did not say, he's not using the word sharp, but he's giving sharp. He's telling her what will happen to her, which actually happened. And you may not say he's giving sharp, but actually from the karma, what is going to ensue, from whatever karma she is doing, what is going to ensue, the result is exactly what he's telling. So it looks like he's giving sharp also. Looks like that. Huh? I should say that. Nahita, it means if you send away this Ram and I die, Nahita jari janama bhari chati. Your inside will burn for the rest of your life. Was that true or not? That only happened. Number 34, he continues. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Dekhi vyadi asadan ripu, dharani dham. Dekhi vyadi asadan ripu, pare udharani dhuni maath. Kahat param aarat bachan, Ram Ram Raghunath siya.
Ram Chandra Ji ki Jai Sharanam Sita Rama. Siyavar Ram Chandra Ji ki Jai Sharanam Sita Rama. Siyavar Ram Chandra Ji ki Jai Sharanam Sita Rama.
देखी व्याधि असाधन रिपु परेउ धरनी धुनी माथ. राजा ने देखा कि रोग असाध है, the disease which has struck him now, that is not going to go away. The king Pareu Dharani Dhunimat, beating his head, he fell on the ground. Kahata Parama Arata Bachana Rama Rama Raghunath. And like one who is suffering immensely on the ground now, when he went on chanting Ram, so that also which is very, very admirable. In spite of whatever happening, chant the name Ram. That is the idea. Vyakula Rao. Sithila Savagatha, his body became immovable now. Karini Kalpataru Manahu Nipata, like the Kalpataru tree fell by this Kaikai. Kantusu Kamuka Avana Bani. No words could come to his mouth and his throat became dry. Like that Tulsidas ji goes on to describe in length. Jau Antahu Asa Karatabu Raheu Magu Magu Tuma Kehi Balaka. If in the end you are not going to give me this boon, now Kai speaks. You are not going to give me this boon. On whose strength you were saying, ask, ask, ask. You went on saying, ask, ask, ask. Ask for 4. How many? 4. On whose strength you were saying, no, you were not going to give. If I had known, I wouldn't ask for anything. Duiki hoi, ek samay, bhuala, hasab, tathai, dani, kahauba, aru, kripanai. These things could exist together. See, what things? A person being dani and being conjuice at the same time. They can't exist together. Conjuice means stingy. Conjuice is Hindi. Conjuice, what do you know? Conjuice. Stingy for in Hindi. Hoi ki ke makusala rautai means that person could be a hero on the battlefield and at the same time be unscathed. Means without any injury. Or how you be on the battlefield and heroic and didn't get even one little bruise? Then that means you're fooling everybody. The two things can be there together. That is the idea. In the same way, charahu vachanaki dhiraj darahu janiyabala jimi karuna karahu. You can't be a virtuous king. What she means to say, you can't be a virtuous king and at the same time not keep your word. What is it? The two things can be together. Charahu vachanu ki dhiraju dharahu. Either you be a virtuous king and you uphold your word, or You drop this word and be a non-virtuous king. That is the idea. But in any case, Jani abala jimi karuna karahu. Don't sit here and weep like a woman. Not my word, eh? Abla means woman. Jimmy Karuna Karumi is sitting here weeping. Imagine Kaikai telling, on who is Dasharatha Maharaj? See the state of helplessness that Dasharatha Maharaj had sunk to. State of helplessness. Tusidaji, yesterday we had seen how he sunk to this state. That is because of Kamdev. What is he attributed to? Kamdev, the power of Kama. Tanu tiya tanaya dhamu dhanu dharani satyasanda kahun trena sama. For a truthful king, body, wife, children, home, wealth, land, property. For a virtuous king, one who keeps his word, all of these things mean nothing. They'll give it up. Mean nothing. They will give it up immediately for upholding their word. Now, what kind of a king you are? You're crying here. Maram bachan suni rao kaha kahu kachu doshana tod. When he heard all of this from Kaikeyi, now Dasharatha Maharaj also, see, his wisdom doesn't leave. His bhakti for Bhagwan Ram, his devotion for Bhagwan Ram is admirable, and because of that devotion for Bhagwan Ram, his wisdom does not leave. It's an amazing thing. When he heard her words, he said, "No, none of this is your fault, really. None of this is your fault. Lage utohi pisacha jimi kaluka havat more. It is my own debt because of my own karma which I have done has come in the form of a ghost, you. But it's my debt, it's not your fault really. It is all my own karma." Again he will say this thing. Just now, it will come back again. Chahatana na bharata bhupatahi bhore. And I tell you one more thing. Kaikeyi, when Bharat hears that, and see, it is also true, because it's really going to happen. When Bharat hears what you have done to procure this kingdom for him, Bharat will not accept this kingdom. Bharat does not want kingdom. Chahatan na bharata bhupatihi bhore. Bharat does not want this kingdom. Bidhi basa kumati basi jia tore. Destiny has taken, you are destined to suffer, in other words. Destiny has taken over your mind, and then now you are saying all of these things. You are destined to, you are actually pursuing a desire to procure a kingdom for your son, the son who does not want any kingdom. And because of this, pursuing this desire, you are going to suffer immensely. If that is not destiny, then what is? So sabumur papa parinamu. And my suffering is all because of my pap, you know what he's saying. And this will come again. काहू न को सुख दुख कर दाता
श्री राम जय जय राम
निज कृत कर्म भोग सब भ्राता
श्री राम जय राम
कर्म प्रधान विश्व करी राखा जस करई सो तस फल चाखा
श्री राम जय राम
श्री राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय राम
जय रघुराम
जय रघुराम
जय सीताराम
जय सीताराम
Siyavar Ramachandra ki jai. So sabu mor papa parinamu. Dasharatha Maharaj says, all my pap has come back to me because throughout his Ramayana this is taught. What is that? Whatever things we have done. Kahuna ko sukh dukh kardata. Nobody is the cause of our joy or sorrow. We are the authors of our own joy and our own sorrow. Karma pradhan. Karma is the most important law in the universe. Jo jasa karai, so tasa phalu chakha. As we sow, so we reap. This is the karma. So if I am reaping anything, and now Kekai, you are sowing. This is what he means. This is wisdom, eh? The wisdom means he has the wisdom to understand that Kekai is not at fault. He is reaping what he has sown. But now you are sowing. So if I am reaping what I have sown and you are sowing now, that means you also will. I mean, not talking about baigan and bhaji here, you know. Because only in agriculture, you the sow and somebody else the reap. That is agriculture. We're not talking about agriculture here. We're talking about karma. Especially in this country. In this country, we have a Pridya Lasani squad. Pridya Lasani squad, right? And that squad, I feel them is the one who will take everything over. Anyway, I just joking, eh? Bhaya Kutha Har Jai Vidhi Mamu. Now all my karma seems to be descending on my head, coming down upon me. And that is my karma only. What to do? Subasa Basihi Phiri Avada Suhai. But let and see now. Everything with Dasharatha Maharaj, I told you, he's telling all is going to happen, really. But Kekai is not seeing that. Subasa Basihi Phiri Avada Suhai. Avad will once more be okay again. Did it happen or not? Now you have come to destroy it, but once more it will be okay again. Not only that, Sabu Guna Dham Rama Prabhutai. And Bhagwan Ram will become king. Even though, in spite of all what you are now inciting here and what you are doing. Again, Ram will become king. Not only that, Kari Hai Bhai Sakala Sevakai, and all his brothers will also be his sevaks. Dasharatha Maharaj is telling the future. You can see very well. Because there was one who upholds Dharma very well, can see very clearly things actually. But she can't see, right? Because now this being influenced, having been tutored very, very carefully by her Guru Mantra, with Tulsidaji himself, not my words again. Tutored very well by Guru Mantra, she can't see. You see? Hoihi Tihu Pura Rama Barai. And in the three worlds, Rama's glory will be extolled. All of these things which he's telling now, all will come through. Come true. And she cannot see anything. Tod Kalanku. And you will get infamy for the rest of posterity. Today, look today, how long ago? We still say, what happened to this Kaikai? That is what I mean. We're still blaming Kaikai for this. Because she allowed herself to be overwhelmed by this mantra. It's not mantra's fault also. She says, you will get infamy for the rest of posterity. And more, Pachitau. And I will regret for the rest of my few days. Because he will only live a few days again. Muehu na mitihi na jaihi kau. After our death also, both of us will die and we'll go. But your infamy and my regret will not go. Abatohini kalag karu soi. Now, after saying this, now whatever you want to do, you do. Dasharatha Maharaj is serious now. You do what you want to do. But one thing I tell you, Lochana ot bay to muhu goi. You do what you want to do, but I tell you one thing, you get away from my sight. I don't want to see you anymore. Jab lagi jiao kahau kara jori, tab lagi jani kachu kahasi bahori. And not only that, you get away from my sight and don't speak a word to me again. He tells. I don't want to hear one more word. Piri pachite hasis anta abhagi marasi gai naharu lagi. You're like a murderer who kills a cow only for the gut. You kill a big animal like that just to get the gut. You means to say you're destroying this whole Raghukula just to fulfill some little desire. Pare urao kahi koti vidhi kahe karasi nidan. Pare urao kahi koti vidhi kahe karasi nidanu. Kapat sayani nakkahati kachu. And being wise, not as Kaikeyi also did not say. And she kept quiet. Kaikeyi said, kept quiet. Jagati manahu masan. Tulsidas, she's strong words. She became like a ghost in the smashan, in the cremation site. With his death impending, she waiting for him to die, like as though he's saying this. But she brought destruction to this family. Rama rata bikala bualu. Again and again he kept on repeating Rama, not speaking to her anymore. Janubinu panka bihanga behalu means like a bird without its wings cut, like Jatayu. He went on saying Ram Rama. Hridaya manava bhoru jani hoi Rama hi jai kahe jani koi. And he went on thinking, let not the morning come. Let tomorrow morning not come. He prays to Surya Bhagwan, don't rise please tomorrow. Because tomorrow all bad things will happen. He goes on. But anyway, my praying that the sun will not rise doesn't stop the sun from rising. Dasharatha Maharaj prays for the sun not to rise. But you could pray for what? That is actually, today only who I was talking about prayer. Prayer doesn't achieve what people think it achieves. Look here, I tell very often, 2 children have exam to write, and one praying to pass the exam and the other one studying to pass the exam. Who will pass? Don't be fooled. You pray to pass the exam, it will not happen. We guarantee it will not happen. Prayers do not pass exams. Hard work and study, burning the midnight oil passes exam. People have all sorts of things about prayer and all that kind of thing. Misunderstanding and misguided and so many things about prayer. Dasharatha Maharaj prays son of Surya Bhagwan, and he belongs to Surya dynasty, isn't it? Raghuvamsh, Surya Vamsh. He prays to his own Surya Bhagwan, who is his ancestor. Nothing, his sun rose the next morning, as usual. Bilapatan Nripahi, Bhayau Bhinusara, wailing, weeping, crying, in pain and anguish and agony and all that, the whole night passed. Then, Bina Bena Sankadhuni Dwara Padhai Bhat Guna Gavahi. Now every morning by his place, since Bhagwan Rama and all of them came back, there will be people who will start playing music, and the Vedic Pandits will chant mantras, and they will play different type of instruments, and the poets will utter verses and all sorts of things. They all came to his palace to do that. They all doing. And they realize, but what is this? Usually the king comes out, no. But where's the king? He didn't come out today. Dasharatha's palace, So all of them became concerned now. Dwar bhir sevakas chiva kahi udita ravi dekhi janevu ajahu na avadapati karana kavana viseshi. Oh, why he is not emerging from his palace? Even in spite of all the music and all the different things which are going on, which every day happens, he emerges from there. Jahu Sumantru, Jakavahu Joyi Ajayi. Means Sumantra, the minister, go and wake him up. Something, why he didn't wake up? Kijya Kaja Rajayasu Pai. Find out. Gaye Sumantru Tava Raura Mahi. Then Sumantra, the minister, he went in there, in his Dasharaji's palace to then Puche Kouna Utaru, nobody could tell. The king is not there in his own palace. Then Gaye Jahi Bhavana Bhupa Kaikei. Then he went to Kaikei's Bhavan, Kaikei's palace. And there Kai Jaiji Baita Sirunai Dekhi Bhupa Gati Gayau Sukhai. He saw the king there. Socha Bikala Bibarana Mahipareu. He saw the king on the floor in misery. Manahu Kamala Mula Parihareu. Like a shriveled up, like a stalk of a lotus. Sachiu Sabit Sakai Nahi Puchi. The Sumantra, now the minister, he was so scared, he also did not know if to ask anything now. He's never seen his king like this. Boli Asuba. Bhari Subha Chuchi. Now Boli means she spoke. Who? Asubha. Tulsidaji's description. This most inauspicious lady. Boli. Bhari Subha Chuchi. Means the one who is Asubha sought to speak auspicious words like that. Parina Rajahi Nida Nisi. He did not speak, he did not sleep all night. Kaikai is speaking now. Sumantra came and saw him on the floor. She is speaking. Whole night he didn't sleep. So Sumantra, he's quiet, he didn't ask anything. He's quiet. Whole night he didn't sleep. So he's looking with a questioning. She said, I don't know why, only God knows why. The exact words, Jagadish. Only Jagadish knew. Hetu Jan Jagadish. The reason only God knows. Why he didn't sleep. Whole night he didn't sleep. Ram Rata Bhoru Kia. Whole night he's saying Ram till morning. Kaina Maramu Mahis. Don't know the reason. Only he knows why. He was only saying Ram, he didn't sleep. No. She tells Sumantra. Kaikai tells. Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Anahu Ram hi begi bolai.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Samachar tab puche hu ai.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Chale Sumantru Raya Rukh Jani.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Lakhi Kuchali Ki Nikachurani.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Soch Bikal Maga Parai Na Pau.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Ram hi boli kahai karau. jaldi Ram ko bula lao. Quickly you go and call Ram. Anahu Ram hi begi bulai. Samachar tav puche hu ai. Told to Sumantra, go and call Ram. Chale hu Sumantra raya rukh jani. Knowing the condition of the king, he quickly went. Lakhi kuchaliki ni kachurani. It appears as though Kaikeyi has done some really bad thing. Sumantra left thinking. It looked like this Kaikeyi do something real bad. Sumantra left thinking like that. I tell you, in Trinidad language, it expressed the best. It looked like this. Lakhi kuchali kini kachu rani. He looked like this queen do something real bad. Quickly he gone. He left, but Tulsidaji said, Socha bikala magapara inna pau. His feet did not want to go. The feet did not want to go because of worries. Now, what happened? Rama hi boli kahi ka rau. I mean, we call Rama. Rama sees the condition of this king ityadi and all that. But anyway, finally, Rama heard that Sumantra had come, and Rama came there. See, 39. Jai dikh raghubansh mani Narapati nipat kusaju Rama Narapati nipat kusaju Sahami pareo lakhi sindhini ki Manahu vriddha gajaraju siya
Ramchandra ji ki jai sharan pawan sudha hanuman ki jai Umapati Mahadev ki jai bolo bhai sab santan ki jai
Siyavar Ramchandra ki jai sharanam. Bhagwan Ram came there and he saw this king. He reached there and saw the king. Sukhahi udar, his lips dry on the floor. Sukhahi adhara jarai sabu anga, all his limbs weak, lips parched. Manahu deena mahi. Mani hina bhungu, like a snake that had lost its crest jewel. Sarusha Samipa Diki Kaikeyi, and seeing Kaikeyi also standing next to him or next to the king in a fit of rage. Rama's seeing Manahu Michu Ghari Gani Le. Like that she was standing over. Mrityu Hi Baiti. Mano Mrityu Hi Baiti. Just like that standing over the king. So the first Rama sees Dasharatha ji Maharaj in that shriveled up condition, and Kaikeyi like that standing over his head. Karuna Maya Mridu Rama Subhau, and Bhagwan Ram. Tulsidas is correct. Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama. Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama
Karunamaya Mridu, Karunamaya Mridu Rama Subhau. Pratham Dikh Dukh Sunan Tau.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama
Tadapi Dhari Dhari तदपि धीर धरि समौ विचारी श्री राम जय राम
जय जय राम
पूछी मधुर बचन महतारी
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम करुणामय मृदु राम स्वभाव. Tulsidas's description of Bhagwan Ram never fails to impress our heart. Karunamaya, who is the very embodiment of Karuna, compassion, Bhagwan Ram. Mridu, soft and tender Rama. Mridu Rama Subhav, soft and tender nature, Bhagwan Ram. Prathama Dikha Dukhu Suna Nakau. Now for the first time in his life, the young Rama is seeing sorrow. He has not seen sorrow or heard of sorrow before. But he has seen so many things. He went there and this Mari Subahu brought down so much of problems on Vishwamitra and Parashuram and all of this. So many things he had seen. But none of it was any sorrow because it was not his family or his, you see like that? Now for the first time in his own family he is seeing. Tulsidas is describing, you can also think what he means by that. But Rama, Prathamadi Kadukuma Tunana Kau. He has never seen or heard of sorrow before. It's tender-hearted Ram. Tadapi Dhira Dhari Samau Vichari. But still he collected himself and Puchi Madhura Bachana Mahatari. And with sweet words he asked his mother, Mohi kahu matu tat dukha karan. Tell me, mother, what is this cause for our father's sorrow? What is it? Kariya chatana jehi hoi nivaran. Maybe I can do something to remove it. Tell me, what has happened to him? Sunahu Ram sab karan ehu rajahi tum par bahut sanehu. The cause is, O Ram, simple thing. This king has too much love for you. That is the cause. Then kaheni mohi dui bardan. He had given me 2 boons. Ma gevu jo kachu mohi sohan. I asked what for those 2 boons which were suitable to my heart. I asked. So suni bhayau bhupa ura sochu. And hearing those 2 boons, the king fell into this fit of sorrow. Chari na sakahi tumhara sakochu. He could not give up, he could not, because of love for you, he could not bestow the boon. That is the idea. But one more thing about Kekai here. Kekai is very clear and it is true also. Her words are spashed actually, very, very clear. And in this last Doha tonight. स्नेहो इत बचन उता संकट परे उनरे सो राम संकट परे उनरे सकहुत आय सुधरहु सिर मेतहु कठिन कलेश सिया पर
रामचंद्र जी जय शरणम पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय सियावर रामचंद्र जी
जय शरणम. Sutta Saneha, his love for his son on this side. Uta Bachanu, and his word on this side. Sutta Saneha, ita. And Bachanu, Uta. One side love for his son, one side his word which he gave to me. Sankata Parevunares. He found himself in Sankata, in a predicament. He found himself in a situation where now his love for his son and his word which he gave, two sides torn between. Sakahu na ayasu dharahu sira. He cannot keep the two things on his head. Metahu katina kales. Means sakahu ta ayasu dharahu sira. Means if you are capable of keeping it, means राजा की आज्ञा शिरोधार्य करो और इसके कठिन क्लेश को मिटाओ. Means you keep it on your head now and you remove his sorrow. Actually, there's a hint here of something. Yeah? What is the hint? The Kaikai telling he cannot keep this weight on his head. He's in his Dharma Sankat. On one side is love for his son, other side his word. And he cannot come out of it. This weight is too much for him. He has collapsed under this weight of this thing. You take it on your head and you remove his sorrow. And the hint is, now Kaikai is telling to Bhagwan Ram this thing. The hint is there was, and this is given in other places, there was some agreement between Rama and Kaikai. It is not there in Tulsi Ramayana. Rama and Tulsi and Kaikai had a little deal. You will get infamy. Everybody will blame you, Kaikai. But this is the boon you have to request. What? That I go to the forest. But the way Tulsi Daji presented is, Saraswati ji put this in the mind of Manthara. And Manthara put it in the mind of Kaikai. And now Kaikai requests that Rama goes to the forest. And now Kaikai is telling Rama, you take it on your head. And what will be Rama's reply to that? We'll see tomorrow. Rama's reply to that, you take it on your head, we'll see that tomorrow. Huh? Okay. So today's Ramayana chanting of Dash Doha, every day somebody is chanting 10 Dohas, which we are going to see on that particular day. It was done by Rohan and Saraswati Ramdeo. Thank you all so much for coming and chanting first. Okay. Tomorrow we'll be at the Lachuz Road Sai Center in Pinal. Tomorrow satsang. Lachuz Road Sai Center in Pinal. Okay. Pandit Gyan Gosain is the Pandit here. Thank you so much, Pandit, for all your wonderful arrangement and all the things that you have, and also for your wonderful seva in this temple. Shiv Ganga Yatra will be on the 27th. Today is the last day to register for Shiv Ganga Yatra. We'll be doing circumambulation of Hanumanji at the Datta Yoga Center, 108 times on 27th, starting at 4 a.m. Okay. All right. We have a few announcements, let me tell you. Jalpan extravaganza. We're having a small food fair on the, well, not small, but fair-sized food fair on the 6th of March at the ashram. Food fair. You can come and have all sorts of delectable, delicious dishes on the 6th of March. Okay. Where is it? They keep telling me that it is there and I don't see it. All right. 6th of March, you can come and enjoy some dishes from our food fair. Okay, it starts at 12 noon and finishes at 4. Okay. The token today will be received by Mr. Devraj Ganesh, Mandir President, and this token is the whole Ramayana we did in 2017-18, more than 500 hours of Ramayana, like which we are doing here today. Yes, it's in a flash drive for you and the members of the temple. Okay, from our side to all of you. There you go. You'll also say a few words. Sit down, sit down.
Each and every one of you here tonight. Swamiji, I want to thank you very much for this token, and thank you again for coming and giving us this wonderful lecture here. We have had a lot of preparation for you here today, which I know of, and we want to thank you. May God give you all the strength to continue doing what you are doing, and you are welcome to come to our mandir anytime.
Thank you.
Just let us know, and we are here for you.
Thank you.
Right? So I want to thank you very much here once more again, and for all the devotees who are here this afternoon, we want to thank you and welcome you also to our mandir, to the singers, thank you very much. And we also have want to thank Ravi and Kiran, Sound System, Heritage Radio, for broadcasting us again here. We also have a little presentation for you from the temple, Panditji.
Oh.
Something here for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now give me Nara? Yeah. Oh, Krishna, Pranamasti. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you again for coming, and every one of you here, thanks again. Pandit Gyan, I want to say to you, we are so happy that you could continue giving our service to the temple, right? And everybody here, we have some small refreshment here tonight,
Yes.
so you all can enjoy it.
Thank you. All right, please do stay and have something after this Aarti. They have gone through great lengths to prepare for all of you. Thank you, Mr. Ganesh. आरती के लिए सब खड़े हो जाइए. आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कलित ललित सियपी की. आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कलित ललित सियपी की. गावत ब्रह्मादि वाल्मीक विज्ञान विशारद सुख सनकादि शेष अरु सारद वरनि पवन सुत कीरति नीकी.
आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कलित ललित सियपी की. आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कलित ललित सियपी की.
गावत वेद पुराण अष्टदश छो शास्त्र सब ग्रंथन को रस. मुनिजन धन संतन को सर्वस सार अंश सम्मत सब रीति.
आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कलित ललित सियपी की. आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कलित ललित सियपी की.
यावत संतत शंभु भवानी अरुघत संभव मुनि विज्ञानी. व्यास आदि कवि बर्ज बखानी काग भूषुंड गरुड़ के नीकी.
आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कलित ललित सियपी की. आरती श्री
फीकी सुबह सिंगार मुक्ति जुगती दलन रोग भव मूरी अमीगी दात मात सब विधि तुलसी की
आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति करे ललित सिया की आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति करे ललित सिया की
श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय 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 राम
श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम
मंगलम भगवान विष्णु मंगलम गरुड़ध्वजः मंगलम पुंडरीकाक्षं मंगलायतनो हरिः त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम बोलो सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय श्री सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय नमः पार्वती पते हर हर महादेव हरि ओम तत्सत।